for people knowing you just get a message. Yeah, go ahead.
Hi everybody.
Hello.
It's 4:15, so I think we can officially start at 4:20. Is that all right with everybody? And I think people will join as the time goes by. Yeah, I think I saw a couple of persons trying to come in, but then they got booted out. So we'll officially start at 4:20. Thanks.
Ginger beer, black cake making everywhere. Poinsettia in full bloom. Sing it out. Going to midnight mass, greeting everyone we pass. Tradition, how we sow. When you hear the church bells ringing, they're coming. Midnight mass, everyone going. They're coming. All around the festive feeling. They're coming. Christmas Day is coming, 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 coming.
You don't have to stop the share, but you can stop the share.
Hi everybody.
Hello, Julian.
Good evening. Hi, Dr. Phillips, Atiba, Jillian. All right, I just want to get started for today. Christmas.
Hi, Jillian here.
Hi, Jillian. How you doing?
Season's greetings. I'm okay, thanks. Season's greetings.
Season's greetings to you.
Thank you.
It's so nice to come together to do something.
Yes. But I'm driving, right? I'm on my way home, so I'm listening in the meantime.
That's all right.
Thank you.
I can see Curtis now joining us.
All right, great.
Curtis. Yeah, so I mean, I just want to thank, the executive for today because, you know, with the pandemic and everything, we're not having Christmas as we used to, as we are accustomed. You know, family can't come over and all these restrictions and this and that. So it's nice that these come together virtually, you know, in the spirit of the season, and we share what we did for the year, what we plan to do for next year, our accomplishments. I know we just end 2021 very nicely. So I just want to kick things off and ask Atiba to lead us in a little prayer before we get started. Thanks, Atiba.
Sure. Hi, everyone. Let's start off in a prayer. Father God, we come to you in prayer. We thank you for this session today of the Multiple Sclerosis Support Foundation. We thank you for bringing us through the year. We thank you for all of the work that has been put in and the programs and initiatives that have been accomplished. We pray, God, that you will bless this session, cause the Holy Spirit to be here. Let all things be done with excellence and in according to your will. And let us all participate in whatever ideation there is as far as determining what the next steps are for 2022. So again, we bless, ask that you bless all the participants, the president, the executive, and all the members. That's these things in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen. Thanks, Atiba. All right, so I'm just gonna start with sharing some of the things we did for the year and what we have planned for next year. All right, hold on. Okay, great. All right, so let's get right into it. What we've done. So for the year so far, we had a fantastic MS Day celebration in June when we celebrated our World MS Day. We produced a documentary, which to me is so fantastic and is one of the highlights I'm saving for today for the end. I'll sneak peek into that. We did our survey, help us better understand multiple sclerosis, where we got from the membership, you know, critical information about multiple sclerosis. And, you know, just from that survey alone, I personally, as somebody, you know, new to the MS community, I learned a lot about MS from it, right? So I believe even when we share that with others, that's really going to spread the awareness and the understanding of MS that we want to see happen. What we have planned, well, today, Christmas with the Foundation, we're coming together in the spirit of the season. We want to market and broadcast our documentary, get it into as many homes as possible. And next year, we want to do more one-on-one interviews. So outside of the survey, we want to identify certain persons within the group and have interviews with you. Yeah. Right. So this is where we break down what we did from April 2021, basically up until now. So April 2021, we featured patient stories on the website. You guys wrote about your individual experiences, you know, which was very heartening for me to read. Also spreading that awareness and creating that empathy for what you guys go through, right? Engage executive support, which is me, and I'm happy to be here to serve the foundation. In May, we started advertising and marketing World MSA celebrations. We published infographics on the website and social media pages. Those were the graphical images with information. We had some of the did you know images where we would have said, hey, some facts about MS that persons may or may not have known. Right, so we had that on the website and social media pages. In June, we had a radio interview on Talk 107.7. I was interviewed on that radio station. Yes, to advertise for World MS Day, but also to really talk about, the resilience of the MS people. And I remember in the conversation in that interview, while I wanted to let persons know about the event that we were having, one of the key messages that came out of it is just how resilient the MS people were. And the interviewer, we actually found it was very timely that it would happen in the midst of a pandemic, where persons need hope. Persons need to see a group like this, continuing in their strength, because regardless of what we're going through, everybody isn't going through MS, but still, the fact that you guys could not just survive but thrive with your condition and keep on keeping on, is really an inspiration. And that was one of the key messages that came out of that video interview that I remember. We published letters to the editor in the Newsday, a reason to celebrate MS. Of course, we hosted the virtual meeting, and many of you would have been there for that. We launched a YouTube channel, the LinkedIn social media page, right? So persons can now log on to the YouTube channel and look at the videos of where we've done past interviews and whatnot, the video of the MS Day celebration. And World MS Day celebrations was featured on Loop News. At the event, we actually had the reporter from Loop News attend our MS Day meeting, and she did a very lovely report on it after. Yeah. In July, this is where we really started to kick things off our documentary, right? We had to do a tender process because, as you know, where money is being spent, there must be process. So we did a tender process for the production of the documentary, right? Selected a videographer, and we began production of the documentary. This is the name of the documentary you're seeing there, Behind the Veil, Conversations about Multiple Sclerosis. So we began production in July, right? We spoke with Dr. Phillips, our president. We spoke with Dr. Nicholas Mirage. He's a neurologist that specializes in MS. And we spoke with Curtis, who's here with us now, and his wife, right? A lot of insight in that interview. So that's what we began in July. We began our preliminary work on developing the survey, help us better understand multiple sclerosis. Because at the point in time when we would share the survey with you, a lot of work was being done in the background before we actually launched the survey to you guys. So we would have been developing the questions, what type of questions we're looking for, what really is the key outcome we want from that survey. So that preliminary work began in July. In August, we continued development and the pre-testing of the survey. So after we develop the questions, we now have to test the platform, see how it's working, see how the communication is happening between the submission of the questionnaire and our end, the foundation's end, see if we're getting the reports as we should. And we had the ongoing editing of the documentary. So I think July into August, we actually completed filming of the documentary, and the editing process, which is where the videographer will come in and do his magic to put everything together nicely for us, took place in August. That documentary is about 37 minutes long, but 37 minutes that I literally sat down from beginning to end and continued to watch continuously. It kept my interest. September 2021 is when we got the final approval for the documentary. Our executive saw the documentary and approved it. And we also got the approval for the survey, help us better understand multiple sclerosis. And that's when we launched it to the membership, to you guys, right? October, we began, now that we have the documentary filmed and produced, we now have to now go to market and broadcast the documentary. We need it broadcasted in as many places to get as many persons watching it as possible. So that is what we're beginning, and we began in October to get quotes and whatnot. We dispatched a survey directly to you, and you guys did participate. I'm so happy for that. We were targeting 20 participants, and we reached that target. We got you all to participate. Right, November 2021, we completed the report. We have a written report as well as a presentation I'm going to share with you just after this. We compiled it and it's being reviewed right now. All right, and just stay tuned for Christmas with the Foundations, what we're doing now. So we can put a check mark there. Report on survey findings. I will follow up this presentation with that. And after that survey, after you see what the results of that survey was, hopefully you guys can have some input as to what your view was, and we can have some discussions on that survey, and what you personally felt about it, right? The marketing and broadcast of the documentary, want to pursue that aggressively in 2022. One-on-one interviews with you, as I said before, and of course we have our annual celebrations we're looking forward to this year for World MSC, not this year, 2022. All right, and that is just giving us a broad overview on what we did for the year and what we have planned. So if anybody has any comments on that, you can feel free to share now before I get into the survey findings.
I just want to say, Saran, that I think a lot of work was done, and we're happy to have you on board to really drive a lot of the initiatives. So, yeah, congratulations to you and to the entire team for getting that scope completed in the last, I guess, 6 months or so.
Thank you, Atiba. Thank you so much. Anybody else? Should I go straight into the let me go straight into the survey. All right, exit show. All right. So this is where we see how your what was the responses to this survey. Right? 80% of the respondents were female. I don't know if that has anything to do with the fact that I read that most, in terms of the demographics of persons who get multiple sclerosis, that there's a higher level of female patients with multiple sclerosis. So this may be indicative of that. But 80% of you were female, 20% male. 50% of African descent. 15% of you were East Indian. It doesn't have a percentage for Caucasian, right? But a small percentage were Caucasian, and 30% of the MS population that participated were mixed. Current age, well, the age seems to span, right? We only had 18 responses for this one, but it seems to be basically saying that MS knows no age. Yeah, we have persons as young as 28, and we have persons as old as 70. It's span across the age groups. Although I'm seeing based on the responses, we had the most respondents between the ages of looking like 58 to 68 thereabout. So, but what this tells me is that MS is no respecter of age, right? Do you think because you're young you can't get MS, What was your age when you first observed symptoms of MS? Again, a large expanse, persons of varied ages getting MS. I'm seeing for the most part, persons were around 30. Most of the respondents were around 30 when they first observed symptoms of MS. So it seems to it seems to come on pretty early. At what age were you officially diagnosed with MS? Because just based on my conversations with you guys, persons that I've met with MS, there is a period of time between when you first observe symptoms and when you're officially diagnosed. Because sometimes you might go to the doctor and it's like, hey, I'm experiencing XYZ, and they may not say, okay, well, it's MS, but it's only after a period of time you become officially diagnosed with MS. But again, we have a wide range of ages spanning across from 17 to 50 something, What is your current mobility status? I was so happy to see this, that 50% of you are walking independently, and this particular statistic is kind of inspiring for me, right? Because MS, from what I've known about MS, it can affect your muscles on one side of the body. Yeah, there could be muscle weakness on one side of the body. And those of you who know me, you would know that I have a son, not with MS, but with hydrocephalus. And he has a condition with hydrocephalus affects the left side of his body, right? So he has problems balancing. He's just 2, he's going to be 3 just now. But the fact that 50% of you are walking independently, I am patiently waiting for the day when he would walk independently. So this gives me a lot of hope. And I mean, I know I'm personalizing it, but it's the truth. I'm really happy that 50% of you are walking independently in spite of your muscle weakness, right? 15% of you are walking with the aid of a walking stick. Another 15% walking with the aid of a walker. 10% of you are wheelchair, and a small percentage of you are on a rollator, and another very small percentage bedridden pretty much, right? But this is very, very good that 50% of you are walking independently. What type of MS do you currently have? 55% of you have our RRMS, relapse and remitting type. It seems to be the most popular type. Then right after, 30% of you don't know, right? You really don't know what type of MS you currently have. Maybe when you were first diagnosed, you may have been diagnosed with relapse and remitting, but maybe you've progressed to something else and you really don't know what you have right now, So that's what the findings show here. Feel free to interrupt me at any point during this presentation if you have a particular comment on any particular statistic that we're talking about here. That's fine.
Yeah, well, if you go back, Sarah, I think it's very, this is something that needs to be followed up on, in the sense that people need to know what type of MS they have. And we need to understand why they don't know. You proffered one possibility in that you may have started off with one thing, but you're not sure if you progressed to something else. But it might also be that they just they never knew, right? Or that they don't know that there are stages, which is even worse. So some level of education needs to happen here, if that's the issue, and otherwise, if it is that they're not having proper communication with their doctor, that's another issue as well. So I think 30% of the population not knowing is too much, and we need to kind of figure out, what's underlying going on there.
Yeah, because based on the type of MS you have, you would know how to treat it. So
yeah, you know what to expect and how to set up your how, there's some, as you said, there based on what type of MS you have, there are things that you would need to do or to expect in that stage and that type that you need to not be blindsided by, kind of thing. So yeah, it's important to know.
Definitely, yeah, definitely. Let's see. Right. How are you currently managing your illness? 55% of you are in public clinic. 10% of you in a private clinic, 30% of you at home. I'm not too sure if that means at home on your own or at home with the aid of somebody coming to your home to help you. But it seems that even the last one, using home things, this is somebody that put this explanation in the part that deals with other, right? This also lends itself to being treated at home, it seems, right? So a lot of you are being treated at home, but with what, is there any sort of professional advice, or are you following any kind of regime even though you're at home? So I think that's also something that we should look at. Yeah.
Yeah.
What is your current motivation with regard to attending clinic appointments? This speaks volumes because one was not motivated at all, right? And 5 was highly motivated, right? So that was the range. So it seems that some of you, 6, we had 19 responses. So 6 out of 19 highly motivated to attend the appointments, but we have 5 not motivated at all. 4 is also not really motivated. 3 neutral, right? So it seems that the majority of persons are more on the left side from 1 to 3, right? Which is not really a good indication of being motivated to go to the clinics, right? I think the next question really speaks to why. So let's go to that. If you are not motivated or don't usually attend clinic sessions, please state the reasons, right? We're seeing here that most persons are saying appointments are often postponed. Does that have something to do with the pandemic, or is this a general case where appointments are postponed? The attitude of the doctor, that's another one that's at 5. Sessions not beneficial, right? Afraid to venture out in COVID, but that's one as well. But the most responses came with appointments are often postponed, the attitude of the doctor, right? The sessions are not beneficial. So that's something that we need to also look into as to what really is happening there with the clinic sessions, and maybe how we could improve that for the benefit of MS people. Right. So if anybody have any comment or any experience, personal experience with the clinic that you might want to share, you could do that,
While persons are, all right, go ahead, no.
Can I speak?
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Dr. Phillips, you can go ahead.
Okay, I was saying that I think the pandemic had a lot to do with it. People were very disappointed going to clinic and not seeing a doctor and having their appointments postponed. And then when you go again to the next appointment, postponement again, it was very difficult. It was a very difficult period. And since the survey was done on that period, these answers may not represent the general feelings or understandings of persons outside of the pandemic, but we don't know. We wouldn't know because we don't have any data outside of the pandemic.
Yeah.
So,
Right, but we are still in the pandemic, right? And
we are
the
still-
pandemic don't seem to be going anywhere anytime soon. So, so this data is current and future almost, right? And so to me, it's valid in the context of the current time. So that's one. But the other 2 that are at 5, so that your comment would have spoken to the top 2, right? Appointments being postponed and potentially because of the pandemic or some relationship with the pandemic. So those are number 1 and number 2. But then there are what is that, number 4 and 5? The attitude of the consultant and sessions not beneficial. I think that's huge. I don't know which consultants people are going to, but it would suggest that they don't feel that, you know, I don't know if it's bedside manner, but they don't feel that the doctors are treating them properly, speaking to them properly, handling them properly in one way or the other. Whether it's the conversation itself or just the overall process, you know, waiting, getting in your pre-appointment, in the appointment, after, and then the session is not beneficial. Again, to me, very pointed and very concerning. What's happening inside the session with the doctor? If you couple that with the 30% that don't know what type of MS that they have, you know, we are, you know, what's happening inside of those sessions. So, and what do we expect to happen, or what should happen? You know, how do we, what, is there some set of things that is supposed to be happening that isn't? I know that there's an EDS score, is that what it is? That is applied to MS persons to say where you are in terms of severity and disability. I don't know if that's been retailed and you know, so again, something to look into. And also, last point is that we had, the Medical Association had reached out to us some time ago, acknowledging that they haven't been doing the best job with regard to MS and wanting to hear from us essentially, and any data and that kind of stuff. So I think that this is something that now that the survey is done, we can share with them and, you know, start to engage with the medical community a little more on these items.
Yeah, definitely. The Medical Association, isn't it?
Yeah, the Medical Association had reached out to us. I could forward the email and whatever. There was a point, and
Yeah.
a point person there, and they were asking us at the time to share some content with us, as well as an article which they wanted to publish in the association journal, relating to, you know, care around MS. Yeah.
Yeah. I'll make a note of that. Definitely connect with them. This is
Yeah.
good information for them to know.
Yeah. I have the contact information for the incoming president. She'll come in January. But also the person who's in charge of communication, whether or not that person is still there, but I have that contact.
Okay, good. All right, thanks. All right, let's see what else we have here. Symptoms. Of course, we have a range of symptoms. Fatigue, 70% of you express fatigue. That's a popular symptom. Walking, gait challenges is following with 65%. The numbness or tingling sensation. I remember that's one of the things that Curtis spoke about. You see it in the trailer when we interviewed him. That sensation is so painful, you know. He spoke about that regularly at the bottom of the feet. Spasticity, that is something I'm relatively familiar with through my son. So we have a range of symptoms: muscle weakness, vision problems. Seeing the only 5% of respondents experiencing slurred speech and memory lapses, which is good. And because when I generally speak to you guys, you'll speak very well. So it's good that not many of you are suffering from that slurred speech and memory lapses. But one of the most popular symptoms, we have fatigue, walking gait challenges, numbness or tingling sensations, spasticity. You had pain, 10%, 50% of you experience pain. Right? What symptoms you currently treat with secondary medication, right? And that's the medication that is not primarily for your MS. For example, I take pain relievers for pain, or I take something for fatigue or something like that. And basically, your 50% of you treat pain with pain medication. I'm not too sure of what medications there are out there for the other symptoms. Y'all can probably guide me on that, but I know we have a wide availability of pain medication. So it's understandable that many of you would treat the pain with the pain medication. I'm not too sure if there's medication for spasticity. If there is, I'd probably like to know about that. Fatigue and things like that. So is it that maybe Jillian or Curtis or Dr. Phillips can help me here? Is it that the pain is really the most widely available medication available, the pain reliever?
Yeah, well, it has to be there are a range of things that people take, and some of it the physicians order.
Mm.
So yeah, pain is for me. Pain is critical. Pain is something I need to deal with every day, and I found something not given to me by a physician, but somebody else who was experiencing that kind of pain, and it has worked, and I kept on it. So I am surprised that pain has such a low percentage. In the previous chart,
Yeah,
we saw pain was low, but for me it is high. Yes, it was down there at 10
yeah.
or
Persons
50%.
express more fatigue than pain.
Yeah, well, fatigue is there too. Yes, I
Yeah.
understand that.
Yes, I saw that.
Yeah,
And look, some persons are not taking anything at all.
at all.
We have none of the above. We have nothing. You know. So there are some
No,
persons that are not taking any medication at all.
no, no.
Right. And here we have the primary MS. What primary MS medication do you take to treat your MS? 35%. None of the above. 35% of you are not taking anything to treat
Nothing.
the MS, and that's probably because of the cost.
Probably.
Wow, you have 20% of people taking the beta interferons, and 15% on the rituximab. Then you have others, small percentages with the interferon and fingolimod, you know, but 35% are not taking anything. That's something to pay attention to.
Mm. Yeah, that's high.
On a scale of 1 to 5, with 1 being not well at all, to 5 being extremely well, how are you psychologically coping with daily life? And this just speaks to the resilience I was talking about before. Everyone is coping satisfactorily and up. 3 of you coping extremely well. Most of you, 9, like coping very well. There's nobody that is not coping at all. So that speaks volumes to me, in spite of everything, the pain, the fatigue, this, that, you know, you all are coping psychologically with daily life. And to me,
Mm.
that is key. That is key to survival and thriving.
Mm.
And let's look at the coping mechanisms. How are you guys doing this? Spirituality, friends and family support. Curtis in his interview, you know, I think I did cry. But you know, that friend and those friends and family that are there, regardless thick and thin. Like somebody put my nagging son, you
By
know,
nagging my
my
son.
nagging my son, you know, my four miserable and loving. I think it's kids. It was kids, you know. So that that connection with other people is so important. You know, and you're seeing it here. That's how you all are able to be as resilient as you guys are. You know, nobody taking therapy, psychological therapy. You know, so this is very encouraging to me. And that was the findings of the survey, in a nutshell. We have a written report that we would share with the group. It's more reading and whatnot, but that's basically the findings of the survey in a nutshell. So if Jillian or Curtis or anybody want to step in and just give your account of what you're going through right now, how 2021 was, what you're looking forward to for 2022, make it feel free to do that.
Or what your feedback is on the survey results as you presented them? Is it representative of what you think, what you feel?
Hearing clearly.
I'm just saying, or they could feedback on, the survey results itself and how that drives with their own experience, or does it confirm it, or that kind of thing.
Yeah, more or less. Yeah, more or less. I find.
Julian, Curtis?
Is she here?
No? But what I would do, I would share the report so persons can have a in-depth reading and a understanding of what it is. So for the future, maybe we can discuss it further.
Curtis?
Yes, thank you. I just want to say that pain has become, and that is acute pain, has become an everyday thing in my life. I don't ever let it get me down. Sometimes, it gets to me, but it don't get me down. So I'm living with that and doing my best and coping as best I could. And I'm looking forward to an even better 2022 for everyone. Thanks.
Amen.
Thank you for that. You take something for pain, Curtis?
Hello? I didn't hear.
You take something for your pain medication?
Right now, I'm using Tegretol, 200 milligrams. I sometimes change it to Lyrica if that's not helping. Sometimes whatever you're using, eventually it stops helping and you have to change it. You have to go on to something else.
But that
So
type
what
of
I also use.
Sorry, go ahead.
Hello? Yeah, I'm hearing you. Yes, sometimes I also use bone and nerve liniment and do a massage of my feet with that, and that helps for a while. I also use compression socks.
The pain medicine that you just saw there, a doctor has to prescribe that.
No, it can be bought over the counter, but that was prescribed for me at clinic. But it can be bought over the counter.
Okay. Lillian? I think Lillian driving. Let me share the trailer so we can see what's coming there.
Multiple sclerosis is a chronic inflammatory condition affecting the central nervous system.
And I'm trying to live my life as comfortable as I can, coping with this multiple
Not loud
sclerosis.
enough. The MS Foundation started in about 2017, and we started the Multiple Sclerosis Support Foundation because we wanted to support MS people. Sometimes they came here right in my garage and we had meetings and discussions about what to be done.
I grew up my whole life playing football, cricket, and having fun, swimming, doing whatever I wanted to. Now, I am not able to do most of those things as efficiently as before.
So being in the midst of the COVID-19 pandemic, MS patients should be cautious about the disease and their MS.
The coronavirus came, and that limited what we could do, how much movement we could make. The professional body almost collapsed.
Plan events, go out when you can, but there are times that you won't be able to do anything. If you don't live in the present, you will always be sad and upset, and you won't be living. So you always have to try and look at the bright side. It's like, what I try to do is like not stop what I was doing before it happened. Like when the time passed, I go ahead, try to make it as normal as you could possibly make it.
So after 4 years it came back, and then I was sure I have MS. Of course, you read up whatever you could and so on, do your research. And it was frightening, of course. So then you understand what type of MS you have. I had the relapsing remitting type.
So MS itself significantly affects patients' psychological health. And mostly what we tell patients to do to try and keep their mental health as up as possible is try to do these simple things. Exercise when you can. Try and eat as healthily as possible. Don't smoke cigarettes. That'll significantly alter your cognitive function.
One of the most irritating things to go through with MS. See, I'm sitting here, chatting, and all of a sudden you'll feel like somebody trying to pound some needles or a nail on their foot. And that is so painful. Sometimes you just come out and see me in tears. I won't call her to anything, because I know it will stop. So I just have to wait until it stops. But that is so irritating.
All of those drugs are very expensive. I was on interferon for about 3 years, and one or two times the drug was not available from the public health because the Ministry of Health pays for that drug for MS patients. If it's not available, I was so afraid that I would relapse. I tried to get it myself. 1 month's supply of that interferon cost me $10,000. $10,000. At the time, I was able to afford it, but I can't afford that now. And most people cannot afford that. Some of the other drugs are even more expensive, and they're grievous. I understand it's extremely expensive.
And one of the major things I try to tell patients to do is to try and be mindful and try and be positive most of the time, and try and cut yourself some slack, because having MS is not an easy thing, and it's really, really good to be kind to themselves and advise their families to be kind to them as well, because it's not an easy thing that they're living with.
You want to contribute, there is a platform on which you can do that in the website.
Okay, so that was one of the trailers. We did 3 trailers, different lengths. That was the longest one. We have a short one, one that's about 2 minutes, and then we have that one. So we're going to be using those trailers to advertise the broadcasting when we're about to have it broadcasted through the different media channels. I've probably watched that trailer a lot of times, no less than 5 times. And there's something that Islin said that stuck with me, Islin, Curtis's wife, where she says you have to live in the present. And that's something that stuck with me, and it's something I try to do every single day, you know, because there's so much that we're dealing with, you know, MS and all of these different things, that to live in the present and not think too far ahead into the future, which I personally have a tendency to do. I have to stop myself from doing that, and just today, I have grace for today. This is what I can handle today. You know, just to share a little bit about me. I remember with my son, and I was pregnant, and we were having these issues with him because his issue was diagnosed while I was pregnant. The doctors would go on and on about what to expect in coming years, which they should, and they're doing their job. But it was like I didn't have the brain space or the emotional energy to take in all of that at one time. So I was just in, and one of the things that helped me, I was just interested in, what do I have to do today, right? What do I have to do now? What is my next step now? Without really thinking too much about the future and getting scared. What is it I have to do today? So when she said, you know, even with MS, with you guys, you have to live in the present. That resonates a lot with me. Yeah. So I'm so excited for 2022. I don't know what's gonna happen. We don't know what's gonna happen with the pandemic and all of that, but I'm still excited about it because, you know, we didn't know what was gonna happen by the beginning of 2021, and to me, 2021 was a fantastic year. So I'm very excited about the foundation and what we have planned and for 2022. Right? So feel free to share, you know, how Christmas shaping up. I mean, yes, we have our formalities with what the foundation and did, but this is Christmas with the foundation. So, you know, we want to come together, spirit of camaraderie, you know, and just share how life has been for you and how things are going for you. I think that is when the executive wanted to do this, it was really to come together as a support system for each other. You know, so feel free to share anything that you want to at this time.
While people are warming up, Saran, I wanted to, it's the first time I'm seeing this version of the trailer. I think it's very good. So good work between you and Randall. I felt that the end of it, where the president said is a platform that you can interact with us or you can contribute, but it didn't say what the platform is. So at the final slide, which has the logo, it should have mssftt.org. So the website URL at the bottom, so people can, you know, continue to engage with us essentially. So I think that was the main comment I had, but otherwise I thought it was quite good. Again, and congratulations to us.
Yes, I definitely have to speak with the team on that, to put that in. People need to know where they have to go to contribute. We just had Kathleen joining us. So Kathleen, you know, for your benefit, we just shared what the foundation did for 2021, what we have planned for 2022. We shared the survey findings of the survey that you recently did, and we just shared the trailer of the documentary that we want to push for 2022. Right, it's featured Dr. Phillips, Dr. Mirage, and Curtis and his wife Islin, right, given their experiences. Right, so that documentary is Behind the Veil: Conversations about Multiple Sclerosis, and the objective of that is to bring awareness to the condition. You know, let persons really empathize with multiple sclerosis, and you know, let's get multiple sclerosis in the conversation, right? Particularly in terms of the medication, right? Dr. Phillips is saying that 1 month supply of her medication costs $10,000. How can persons dream of affording that? You know, so you have, I think it was 35% of persons not taking the medication they need for their condition. So that seems to be to just, that's unacceptable to me. You know, so there must be some way, as the Ministry of Health, what it is that we could do to get the drugs to the persons that need it. You know, so that was just a recap for Kathleen, who just joined us. You know, so you can feel free to comment, Kathleen. How has your Christmas been? How has 2021 been? What do you want to do for 2022? Feel free to share, and anybody else as well. Feel free to share.
Julian, are you there? Are you hearing us, Julian?
Yeah, can I make a point?
Please.
For me, hello?
Go
For
ahead.
me, yeah,
Yes,
for me,
yes, I'm hearing you.
2021 was terrible in terms of MS. And I don't go to clinic anymore. I don't take any medication. I only take medication for pain, and that is almost every day. And I think I'm deteriorating based on the symptoms I have and how they're looking. So I don't see progress for 2022. That is probably not a nice thing to say, but it is how I feel. I don't know how many other, well, I mean, I have been long in this MS situation, so I guess it's taken its toll. I'm not upset, I'm just facing facts. So I don't want to say I hope 2022 will be better, because I don't. Logically, I don't see that it will happen. But for the members of the foundation, I want to see progress. I want to see people feeling better. I don't find we get enough attention. And I know we have been lobbying Ministry of Health, the various things. I don't find, even when you go to clinic, it's a routine thing, take your blood pressure, and go home and get a date to come back. And we don't get any explanation or any understanding of what it is happening. I really don't go back to the clinic at all. And I don't take any MS medication. I find we should get, how do we do it? I don't get better treatment, better attention, better application of research results in what we do for our MS patients. Okay, so that's what I think.
Yes.
Thank you very much
Thanks for
for
that,
giving
Dr.
me the opportunity.
Thanks for that. I mean, you stating your truth, huh?
I am.
You stating your truth. That's the situation for you.
Yes, absolutely.
But to know these things, so we know where we need to focus.
Kathleen, are you there?
She got bumped off.
No, she's still here, at least on my screen.
Her audio not connected, because we can't even mute her from our side.
Okay.
I don't think her audio is connected. She probably can hear us, but she can't speak. Yeah. All right. Well, this is what we had come together for today. Unless anybody else has any comments that they want to make, I just want to thank you guys for this. Thank you, thank the foundation for the initiative to come together. It's not, as I said before, it's glad I dress up even to sit down here in front of my computer because it's something to do for the season. Julia wants to say something?
Oh no, just well, yes, thank you for doing all the good work and much appreciated. And all the best for 2022 to everyone. Thank you.
Yes, Julian, thanks a lot. Right, thank you to Dr. Phillips, thank you, Atiba, and enjoy the rest of the season. I know I have plans for the rest of the day. We're gonna bring in the new year, the positive vibes. And I'm a bit excited for 2020. I always get excited towards the end of the year anyway. That's kind of normal for me. But I just want to wish you guys all the best, all the love, all the blessings that I wish for myself. And let's see what we can accomplish for 2022. Yes. Okay.
Saran, question, are we going to make this recording available somewhere?
Most definitely. Right? We
All right.
recorded it.
Good, so we'll talk about that. Good, excellent. All righty. Thank you, everybody. Have a blessed one.
Yes.
Thank you, Saran, and best to you and your family, especially your little boy.
Yes.
Great improvements in the new year. Thank you.
Yes. You've been very well. Thank you very, very much.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
All right, all the best. Bye-bye.
Bye.